I received a lead from someone in the comment section about a hotel that was built in less than 2 months in Barcelona, so I was really intrigued. Let's have a look. Coming up. Okay, so this is the comment I received from Ton Limona 3 days ago. And he or she, I'm not sure, said, Barcelona, an entire hotel bigger than a cruise build in not even 2 months. For the international fair, of course, and therefore turned down. Why would nobody save that piece of art? Check that out. Hotel Internacional Louis Domenico Montaner. Okay, so I just basically copied this name and typed it in, and I was like, okay, that's really huge. That looks really huge. Just by looking at the picture, and it looks really neat. So let's have a look and see what Wikipedia says. Look at this architecture. So I went to Hotel International Barcelona. This is the English entry, and let's see what pictures we can find. So this is a huge building, as you can see, and clearly not built by people with the recent architectural skills, and they probably wouldn't even dare to start working on it, because as you can see, so many details, so many intricate details. It's definitely this kind of Tartarian Atlantis kind of architecture, as you can see very well. Look at that. All of those details, paying attention to everything. Look at how this looks like. It's a huge building and full of details. Look at that. And it's really interesting. So let's look at this. The Hotel International, or Grand Hotel Internacional, was one of the buildings that the architect, let me make this bigger for you. Someone complained that they can't read on their iPhone. Constructed for the Universal Exposition of 1888. What a magical number, 888, right? And constructed for, it wasn't constructed just constructed, it was constructed for this particular exposition of 1888 of Barcelona, Catalonia, Spain. The hotel was 5,000 square meter building that was built in a record time of 53 days. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, can you? 53 days and 5,000 square meter building. I just want to show you those of you who don't know what is a square meter, because you're in America and you use a metric system or whatever, imperial. 1.2 acres. It's like a land. You can sow it and have potatoes and whatever you want to for one or two persons. It's like huge, right? And 5,000 square meter building in a record time of 53 days, less than 2 months. I mean, give me a break. This hotel, look at this. All those intricate details, and you build it within 53 days, organize it and everything, and have enough workforce and everything, like all the bricks and the design ready and everything. 53 days. I mean, you don't build a camp within 53 days, right? You build a larger tent within you need a couple of hours, okay? And you build this within 53 days. I mean, give me a break. Okay, so it was conceived as a temporary facility to welcome visitors to the exhibition and was demolished once the contest was over. Temporary facility? Give me a break. I mean, these people really think we are crazy. The Universal Exhibition of 1888 was celebrated in the city of Barcelona between April 8 and December 9. Again, 8, right? 8888. receiving a total of 400,000 visitors from all over the world. Well, I'm sure they had to see this temporary building. Okay, I'm not going into this. The capacity was for 2,000 guests and 600 rooms and 30 apartments for large families. I mean, why would you build such a monstrous hotel with all those details, with 30 apartments and 600 rooms? Okay. Demolition. That's what I want to read for you. Now, buckle up. The building had a great reception among the citizens of Barcelona, I bet, and a good part of the intellectual sector, which considered it a work of art representative of the new architecture. Really? But its ephemeral character had carried out certain actions of difficult backwards. The location had been made in land temporarily ceded by the port of Barcelona. Okay. That made a permanent stay not viable. In addition, the building had no foundation. Oh man. Oh man. This building, are you telling me that this building with all the bricks had no foundation? This building had no foundation? This. That's a good joke. That's a good joke. I love it. Had no foundation. I mean, they really think we are insane. Okay, where was I? Had no foundation as it was seated on a metal structure, made expressly to provide stability, and finally the materials used in the construction were intended for a limited duration. So look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 floors built without a foundation, right? Give me a break. 4 floors without a foundation. I mean, those of you who are builders or architects, please comment in the video below and tell me if this building can stay without a foundation. 4 floors, brick built, and you would make this building within 33 days. Tell me in the comments below, please. I would love to hear that. Okay. Where was I? Metal structure made expressly to provide stability, and finally the materials used in the construction were intended for a limited duration. Although the duration of the construction was predetermined, a movement for the defense of the building was organized that already began its defense before being finished the construction. At the end of the exhibition, there were several tensions to change the situation of the demolition, involving the minister with an offer of sale of the building, arriving the discussion to the Spanish courts in a very tense session in which the demolition order was confirmed. Okay. The demolition began on May the 1st, 1889, just over a year after its inauguration. 1 year. Oh man, that's just crazy. Okay, so I scrolled down until almost the bottom, and I was like, see also list of missing landmarks in Spain, and I was like interested. So I opened that up, and here it is, list of missing landmarks in Spain. And I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled, and it's just full of architecture, and it's all missing, demolished. Look at that. Look at that. It's all, I'm just halfway through the page, I'm still scrolling, all gone, to provide no evidence, no proof whatsoever. So I went through actually these and opened up some of the interesting ones that I liked. Here is one. Palacio de Ripalda. I don't speak Spanish, so how I pronounce it will be crap for sure. Okay, so look at that building. I mean, it's definitely not our style, and it's well constructed, and it's gone. It had to go. It had to go. 1889. Interesting. Very similar year. The year later, probably in the year when the other hotel was demolished. Here's another one. San Benito el Real Valladolid. Okay, so I think the building is actually this one, and it's huge and humongous and really nice architecture, but it's gone, it seems. I'm not sure if this is part of it, but I wanted to show you because here are some mud flood buildings under the ground. I mean, look at that. It's definitely not designed that way. So this is whole, it's a mud flood story for sure. And yeah, that's about it. This picture, I'm not sure when was it made, 1924, of the church. And yeah, there is railway going through. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Abbey of Santa Engracia. And this is also kind of church, 1808 and 1809. The monastery was ruined during, between 1808 and 1809. And what survived was demolished in 1836, it seems. And yeah, whatever. But look at the building. I mean, look at the architecture, all of those statues and intricate details, right? I quite didn't understand this picture. There is some kind of revolt, and these guys are going with these, I'm not sure how is it called when you put kind of like a knife at the tip of the pistol. But these guys, instead of using the pistol, they're using it as like an axe. the handle part. I mean, I'm not sure why, but he's using it as like hitting people with it instead of using it like a gun. So I didn't understand that. That looks fishy to me. Anyway, let's look at the next one. Leaning Tower of Zaragoza. Oh man. Look at this tower. And I think this was built by design this way, because it was probably harnessing some energy here with the antenna. And if you know, antennas are not always straight. They are sometimes angled. So that's my guess. I mean, how do you build such a building? And if it wasn't built that way, but it was built straight, vertical, then, you know, they didn't have a foundation. Or even if they didn't have a foundation, then how is it still standing this way? You see what I mean? It should have collapsed, but it didn't. And it was just standing like that. Okay? Look at those details. I mean, but why on earth would you build a building without a foundation? I mean, these people weren't crazy. Look at those details. If they had the mind to create those details and this architecture, they for sure had a foundation. So something fishy is going on. Look at that. Look at that. Nice. I like it. So, and it's apparently gone. It had to go. Edificio, Castromil. Okay, so let's look at this. Again, look at this architecture, and I wanted to show you this because there are some mud flood windows right there. Can you see it? It's definitely not the first floor, this one. There are floors underneath. And yeah, I mean, probably if you go into the details of the history of these buildings, you would find some interesting details, but I don't want to do that now. And this one is Instituto di Higiene del Dr. Murga. So basically the hygiene institution of Dr. Murga. Okay. So a clear style, this Greco-Roman so-called and colonial so-called style with these huge pillars like a museum. I mean, and it had to go, right? It had to go because it's just too much, there was probably too much going on and too much proof. Balneario di Toxa. Okay, so I'm not sure what this is. This is in 1808, fishermen in the local area found the warm waters of island had healing qualities. Whatever, they have these ridiculous stories. I'm not sure, maybe it's true. And let's look at this. I mean, can you see this structure? 1, 2, 3, 4 floors. And here there are some, I guess it's mud flood windows. And again, the stairs going up. It's usually an indication of that. Clearly not the style that you would build anything nowadays. So, Casa Trinxet. And officially considered complete in 1904. Let's look at this. So, you look at this building and, I mean, this is looks like a house. It's not overly, I'm not sure what I wanted to say. It's not like the other building like we have seen here, like humongous, but it's also full of intricate details, and I'm not sure what is on top of it. And when was it demolished? But it looks like some kind of solar panels. It looks like to me, and it's interesting because completed in 1904. When was it demolished? I don't know. I don't really want to look for this actually, but anyway, look for it if you want to. But it looks like a very old photo. I'm not sure when was this made, but it looks like some solar panels. Okay, so you know what I mean. And here it looks like the floor, this has been mud flooded with mud flood windows. You look at that. It's a different brick and all those windows there. Look inside these details. This is not something we usually build nowadays. Look at all those intricate details, the pillars, marble pillars, and this usual twisted kind of pillar we have seen it elsewhere as well. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Queen's Cathedral. Right. The Queen's Cathedral. Look at that. This is humongous and really, really nice with full of details. Look at that. Huge doors. As you can see, they cut in a smaller door for regular people, but it is having some giant doors for giant people, I guess. Right, and yeah, look inside, full of details. We don't build these kind of buildings nowadays, definitely not. Look at that. I mean, that architecture is just crazy. And again, you can see that architecture there. So yeah, pretty nice. I like it, and it's huge. And it had to go as well, right? It had to go, it seems. Okay, so the next one is Convento di San Felipe de El Real, and this looks like a church again with some. I'm not sure because a church wouldn't have floors, I guess, but this has like 1, 2, 3, 4. Floors, and interestingly, this, I'm not sure what this is. You know what I mean? It's like there's a street here, and from the street you can go somewhere, but it's not yet the building. I mean, I guess this is, you know what I'm going to say, this is probably mud flood proof. I'm not sure what they did here, but it's definitely fishy. And it's now in its site is Casa Cordero. That is the first apartment building built in the city. Right. So I don't understand why would you build something like that. Anyway, so let's go to the next one. Hotel Florida in Madrid. So this is actually not This is actually not Barcelona, right? It's Madrid, Spain. So I'm not sure why this was listed under list of missing landmarks in Spain. Oh yeah, it's obviously Spain. Madrid is still Spain, but I wanted to show you this anyway. Look at those mud flood windows right there, and this huge building, right? It's a huge, humongous building with all those details. Had to go. Palacio de Indo. Let's look at this one. I mean, this is also just a huge building with all those intricate details. And this had to go as well, obviously. Palacio del Duque de Uceda, Plaza de Colón. And yeah, there are these larger doors, and it had to be replaced by Barclays. Right. Royal Alcazar of Madrid. This is some kind of castle, looks like it. It's a huge building, as you can see. And what else? Built on a hill. And it had to go as well. Why am I showing you this? Oh yeah, look at this. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 floors. Look how big this is. Look at the people. And all those windows, half windows, mud flood windows. Can you see that? I mean, those are definitely not for entries, right? So, oh yeah. And here's picture. There's always some kind of fire. Its construction began in 1738, 4 years after the fire. Always there's some kind of fire or flood or something that had to come to these beautiful buildings. Okay, so what else can we see here? Okay, so this is interesting because look, this is I'm not sure what town this is. Madrid. And if we go back to this picture, it looks like they had to dig a lot here, dig it out from some sort of mud flood kind of thing. You see what I mean? I'm like, it doesn't look like a usual hill, does it? Tell me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't look like it to me. And there is this kind of bridge here. Bridge over the fields and over what? Over some kind of river? Is this a river? Tell me if this is a river. But the guys and the horses are going in the river, right? They are walking, they are riding on the river. That's an interesting one. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's definitely interesting. And here it is again. So yeah, that's pretty much it about that. And so obviously gone now. Okay. I was like, let's go to Barcelona, and I typed in Barcelona, this hotel name, Hotel International. So I came here and I see all these buildings. I'm not going to have a tour here, but just look at those buildings. 4 floors. You will definitely find mud flood windows if you go through the street, but look at those details. Look at those details on the top as well. Here. I mean, this is just another mud flood town. I can see with nice architecture. And you can see it everywhere, honestly. So, look around. Some of these are probably newer build, but this is definitely not a new build or this one. So anyway, that's pretty much it for me. I'm off, and tell you what you think about the Barcelona International, built in 53 days if you are an architect or a builder. I would be really interested in your opinion. I'm off. See you in the next video. Bye.